Ooh.
And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Under the Helmet podcast. Woo-hoo! Today, we are joined by two very special guests. We have Charlie and CJ from Lightsaber Radio. Welcome, guys. How are you today?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Nobody look at my red forehead from the helmet. Nobody look at it.
Oh yeah, no. Helmet hair is a staple on the show.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing. I wore that helmet when I first got it for 3 hours. It is a thing.
You guys should see me after sessions.
I've been con practicing, walking around my apartment with my helmet on, trying to do like normal tasks, and it's not been easy.
No, I can imagine.
Now I know why there's a dent in Boba's helmet. They say it's from Cad Bane. It's really because he just walked into something.
Oh, 100%. I read a thing that like his vision is supposed to be like nearly 360 degrees, but in actual fact, you could only see sort of like the tiniest slither through the helmets.
Yeah, no way.
It's so
no
restrictive.
Wait, what are you talking about? I have great vision in this helmet.
I mean, the vision in my Black Series helmets are good, but like 360 degrees is a bit of an exaggeration. Like, I think it was even in the behind the scenes, Tamara Morrison is like, I can't see a thing out of this thing.
Yeah, I meant like in canon, like Boba Fett's actual like Boba Fett helmet. He sees 360, but
The funniest thing is Tamara Morrison when he's talking about doing Jango Fett and how he can't see where he's going, so he falls off stuff.
Yeah. All of the prequels behind the scenes stuff is just people falling off things. It's brilliant. It's so
absolutely funny. Behind the scenes of the prequels is so funny. I also love the scene with Hayden where they're doing like a tracking shot where Hayden is running where I think he's chasing after Zam Wessel and he just falls. It just slides on the floor as the camera
also back.
So he's just lying on the floor like this as the camera is just slowly peeling away.
And you can see all the actors like, oh god, that wasn't supposed to happen.
It's great. It's
Keep
great.
Walking. Keep walking.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Keep going.
Hey, Nick's in the chat.
Oh, Nick. All right, so my phone will load. I will start us off with our intro question that I came up with when I couldn't go to sleep last night. I was literally lying in bed, about to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden, this thought popped into my head.
Yo, why are you going so Mando on that helmet right now?
This is the way.
We haven't hit 20 subscribers yet. Don't forget, everybody, to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because if you do, and we hit 20 subscribers, we will have a plot significant face reveal, but not today.
He only revealed it in episode 8. It was plot significant.
It was absolutely. So to start with, so we talk about a little bit of all kinds of fandoms on this podcast. So for my opener question, I'm going to say, let's say you're a time traveler in your favorite fandom universe. What event would you change, and how would it affect the greater universe?
I need to consult my list of fandoms.
Oh, geez.
In any fandom?
Any fandom.
Any fandom.
Oh,
I'd have to go with my Red Hood fandom.
Okay. Elaborate on that, because I'm a Red Hood guy as well.
Yeah, if I have an actual tactical mask that is bulletproof that I had made for me. Really cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
I paid like $500 for it. It's so worth it.
Very nice.
I mean,
honestly, instead of like the original storyline was that Joker tricked his mom, all that fun stuff, right? If anybody knows DC, and then Under the Red Hood with Jensen Ackles is playing him. It's not that storyline. If I could change that storyline, I wouldn't make it the Joker.
So
it was so predictable. So the biggest thing was with that story arc, it was so predictable that the Joker took Jason. It was. You read the comics and everything, you watch the movie, Batman knew Jason got taken by freaking Joker. It was just, where is he? I think more of a Red Hood kind of deal would be the Riddler, in my personal opinion. Because if you see how the Riddler had his state faced and all that stuff that we see in the New 52, I would want the Riddler to do it, but instead of it being Jason, it's Bruce.
Oh.
And Bruce finally breaking his vow, and Jason is the one bringing him back to the light.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I really thought about this stuff. I really have.
That would be a cool that'd be a cool one. So I can't remember which one it was. It was for I think it was A Death in the Family. They released like an interactive movie where you could basically alter the ending, and you had all these different endings. And I remember when it was coming out, like watching all of the different alternative endings and being like, I don't like any of these. These are all horrible.
Well, and the thing is like nobody would expect the Riddler got the Batman. Because the Riddler, in my personal opinion, is the biggest joke other than like Mad Hatter or
Calendar Man.
Yeah, that's another one. Calendar Man. Hell, instead of Riddler, make it the Calendar Man got him. Calendar Man is tired of being a joke.
Polka Dot Man snaps one day. Although the Suicide Squad did do Polka Dot Man really well. Hey, Lacey Callahan, I've never seen you in chat before, so that would definitely be a heck of a storyline.
That's a buddy of mine. We do a lot of so we make film pitches and then send them to each other and bounce ideas off of each other. We have one for it sounds weird, but it would go between the Ghostbusters video game and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay.
And it sort of like jumps off of the video game universe through there. We're in the process of taking our movie pitch and putting it into a script.
Nice.
I would love to get it finalized one day. It would make me so happy.
That would be really cool.
All right, Charlie. We also made a 3-season radio drama.
What universe are you in, and what are you changing?
See, my first instinct is to go for Marvel, but in the same breath, I actually, when I sit back and think about it, I love everything that Marvel has done. I don't think I would personally go and adjust anything. My beef is with Hannibal, the NBC one with Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy. Hugely popular. I was a massive part of the fandom, and I still dip back in from time to time. The ending of the final season was an absolute train wreck, and I would go back and I would redo basically the whole final season and maybe like sort of half of the third season to readjust the storylines. I don't want to spoil too much, but
I saw his
there's a lot
under that mask.
There's a lot that should have been done that wasn't done, and that was extremely frustrating because us as fans had been led to believe that it was going a certain place, and obviously it didn't, because TV people like to mess with fans like that, like the whole Supernatural do. It's a whole.
Oh, don't get me started on Supernatural. Goodness gracious!
Yeah.
Or if you dare say you would change it, I would never change it. That was the best way to write him off, in my personal opinion, except for I don't think Dean should have died. I think Sam should have. Plain and simple. Spoilers.
Oh, spicy.
So Supernatural definitely took the Vampire Diaries way out of it, where like one of them dies and then one of them lives a normal life. Spoilers for the Vampire Diaries, yes, I've watched that show. My family sat there and we watched the show together.
I'm sorry. No, True Blood is superior.
Cap. Although, to be fair, I've never seen True Blood. I'm not a big fan of the whole like hot vampire thing. Never really was my bag. I was a big fan of though how they would like have all the mythical creatures in it in what was the sequel show, Legacies, where like we would sit there and we were watching it, and like so their villain of the week thing was always like a mythical creature. And spoiler for the first episode, and that's all I'll say. The first episode, the villain is a dragon, but they misdirect it, and the whole time I'm like, it's a dragon. They're like, no, you're wrong. It's like because my whole family was like, it's this, and I'm like, no. See, they're hoarding wealth. They're doing all this. It's a dragon, guarantee you. And then of course they reveal it to be the dragon. I dropped the mic and left the room.
You just got up and left.
Because I was one of those kids that studied mythical like creatures because they scared me. So I wanted to understand them. They used to scare me when I was younger. Like I used to be terrified of like Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein. I used to be terrified of them. So I started doing all this research on all the lore so I would know how to kill them. That's part of the reason I love Supernatural.
See, you and I went into very, very different places. I was given a book about how to care for dragons and how to study dragons. So I wanted to be friends with them. I wanted to be friends with Bigfoot and dragons and Frankenstein and mummies, that like two very different.
Absolutely.
When the apocalypse comes, let's see who wins her. Let's see who comes out surviving.
So
I mean,
Me,
here's the thing, though.
because
Very-
I'm gonna say this. I grew up watching Rambo.
Oh, I love a bit of Rambo.
I am Vietnaming the hell out of every situation. It is getting crazy up in here, and you guys, you're either on my side or you're not. If you're on my side, I'll tell you where everything's at. If you ain't on my side, you coming for me, you better watch out.
See,
I have
why-
shit flying at you.
Why
I'm
do I
gonna
feel like
dock
you're the sort of
myself a
person
little
with a bunker? Like an
No,
underground,
I'm not-
fully
no.
stocked.
No.
So I grew up in the American South, surrounded by rednecks. I think I'll do okay.
I am in the West. I am in Idaho. I am right next to Montana. I am a
That's
good
nothing
It's
to me.
17, 18-hour drive to Texas. Like, it's a good find out moment if you come into my state and try to play.
Yeah, okay. So you're an 18-hour drive to Texas. I just knock on my neighbor's door, and they're just like, "You want to see my gun case?"
That's how I am. I can go next door to Brenda next door, and she's probably got a gun safe too. Like,
Oh,
Idaho
nice.
is a small version of Texas in my eyes.
We literally had a neighbor at my parents' house down the road, and I love this guy to death. Old guy, big gun collector. He reloads his own ammo. This dude was amazing.
Magnus knows what's up.
He would reload his own ammo. He would do all. He was awesome.
Magnus,
Super
that is
cool.
not true. You leave Big Sky Country alone.
I don't know where Montana is for all I
Montana's
know.
not real. It's direct in space time. No,
It's fake.
I think Montana's real, but like South Dakota, questionable.
Yes. See, do you know anybody from South Dakota? I know people from North Dakota. I have never met a single person from South Dakota. I take that back. I met one at PetSmart today. I had to go get crickets for my brother-in-law's bearded dragon. I met one, and he literally had a South Dakota plate because I didn't believe him. I had him show me his
So
license.
I used to work at a very popular like tourist beach. So as a beach lifeguard. So there was one, and we got people from all over the country, and they would come in waves. We'd have like Northerners one week, Midwesterners another week, and so on and so forth. Like they would come in waves. And we were sitting there, and I was like, we've never met someone from South Dakota. We met somebody from Ontario, Canada, but we never met anyone
Oregon.
from South Dakota. And we would talk with all kinds of people, like all day long. And I told one of my buddies the exact same thing. I was like, I'm convinced South Dakota just doesn't exist. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, have you ever met anybody from South Dakota? And they're like, no, not. I was like, exactly. It's a false flag. Not to go.
It's a myth. It is a myth.
It is a myth, honestly.
I have never
It's
seen
like,
it. I've only seen it on a
it's like
map. I have
Queen
traveled to
a
15
myth.
states. I used to rodeo. I have traveled to 16 states. I've been supposedly close, but I've never seen a South Dakota sign or South Dakota this way or any.
Yep.
It is so fake in my eyes, and it's a lot closer to me than most people.
Have not ever seen anyone from South Dakota. So, anywho, let's
I said Idaho's a conspiracy.
see here.
We're just a
So,
bubble of
says, I love how people's first plan in the post-apocalypse is guns. All the guns, no food or medicine or water. Well, here's the thing. If you have a boatload of very big, very scary guns, you can get food, medicine, and water pretty easy by just like, you can do it the diplomatic way of saying, here, let's trade. I will trade you this gun for some food rations or something like that. That's the nice way. The more realistic way, the Walking Dead way, is simply click, click, give us your stuff, or else.
There's no diplomatic. You either join me or die, plain and simple. We're in an apocalypse. You either join me or you die. Either way,
Exactly.
I'm getting what you have, and you can either share with me and I'll give you a gun or two, or you're going out.
Now,
Speaking of apocalypse plans, and this is a tangent to start the episode on, but it's cool.
We're already on a tangent. We've just spent I've listened to the last 10 minutes of you two talking about is South Dakota real or not? I don't even know where Dakota is.
I've had people tell me that
Exactly.
Idaho's not real.
And
We're just
apparently
a
there's
giant
North and
potato-shaped
South version of
bubble.
it. I don't
Sorry,
believe it.
Eli.
what is a Dakota? What is a Dakota?
Good question. Good
It's
question.
a Dodge pickup. You can either buy it in a 2-door or a 4-door.
I think I knew a Dakota once. Like a person.
Dakota, I hardly know her.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are we going to get into the meat potatoes, or are we going to keep going into tangents?
And listen, we can do either or. This podcast is all about tangents. I did a PowerPoint presentation on why people were wrong about Boba Fett, based off solely the first episode.
It was so good.
I can imagine. I would like to see the presentation, a PowerPoint. Are we talking like slide transitions?
Is it cool though? Is it grade and then it does look like?
Hold on, let me see.
I mean,
it was on Google Slides. I'll have to see if I can try to find it. If I can find it, it's game over. Because I will definitely. You gotta go back and rewatch. I think it's our first.
We gotta give it.
It's our first episode, or it's our second episode where we talk about Book of Boba Fett.
Yep, it's the first Book of Boba Fett episode.
Yeah, it's
what is it?
Yeah, I titled it with the most clickbaity title. Paul said, "Under Helmet Pod Episode 2, Why You're Wrong." I think why you're wrong for hating on Boba Fett or something like that. So.
You should just put why you're honestly wrong, and people will click on that.
Yeah, click on why you're wrong.
Exactly.
You want to incite anger in people. That's how you get clicks.
Tell me what I'm wrong about.
My clickbait game was on point. My clickbait game was on point. What can I say? I've fallen off a little bit. Although my thumbnails are pretty wild. I sit there, I open photo layers, and I just go to town.
Kyle and I have very different styles of designing thumbnails, and it makes me like his are so.
You really have to pull the cup up to your helmets. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. All I saw was.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why he's got that bottle, so it will fit up the helmet. He's got this plan.
I see his face though.
We're seeing some chin. Saucy exclusive.
Okay, there was there's no way of evading that. That looked like you fell out of your chair. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
it was a lot of no.
But anyway, so let's kind of slide a little bit more on topic. So tell me a little bit about your guys' show. Like what was the thing that made you guys go, we're gonna start a Lightsaber Radio?
Do you want to take this one or shall I?
I can take this one because I get really excited.
Go ahead. Feel free because I did this for like 3 hours last week. So please.
Yeah. So Kyle does a podcast. It was originally called Star Wars Audio Archives. And now it's Star Wars in 10. But he started that solely for the books. But he was getting kind of not tired of it because he still loves it. But he's getting to the point where he wanted to get a group of people together and talk Star Wars and have a conversation and have arguments and do all these things and be very controversial. And he reached out. Yeah, he has some controversial statements. We love him for it, though.
We love him for it.
But he started that and he interviewed like 300 people and he ended up picking Charlie, Garrison, and Mark. Mark ended up leaving on some BS technicalities.
Oh,
he copped out. All I gotta say, he copped out. I don't like to badmouth people, but he copped out. I think it wasn't going in his direction the way he wanted it to, and he copped out.
Professionalism, yeah. We move on.
So originally, I was brought in as kind of a pinch hitter when there was like voting episodes or to do certain things, and Mark just threw me in and continuously kept me in every episode to the point where when he quit, I had a permanent spot, which is thank you, Mark. I will still thank you for that because that was really awesome of him. But yeah, we are as Star Wars fans, just wanted a group of friends, and we became friends very fast. Like we're very close. Sometimes a little too close.
That's okay.
Absolutely. And you can definitely tell that by your guys' show. Your guys' dynamic is really cool and it's really fun to watch. And it's honestly one of the highlights of my week. Like I'll sit there and I will cast Lightsaber Radio to my TV, and I'll sit there and just like scroll through the chat on my phone while I have the video feed on my TV. It's so fun. You guys have such a fun group, and I don't think I've laughed as hard as I ever could without watching while we were watching the now infamous Valentine's Day episode.
Don't speak to me about that.
That was so much fun. That was absolutely
debauchery.
Honestly, but with the podcast, when we got together, like I said, at first I was very skeptic at first. I didn't know anybody. I knew Kyle because I didn't listen to Kyle since he started. I didn't know Charlie because I didn't follow her on Instagram like Kyle did. I didn't know who the hell Garrison was.
Oh, me either.
I was
who is this man?
Right? And I was like, are we going to mesh well? Or are we going to be really good? Or are we going to be very stagnant and boring to the point where Kyle's like, I'm done doing this. You guys suck. Get out of here kind of attitude.
I'll tell you what, one thing I love about Kyle is his
we all know that he's got that attitude, though. So
he's brutally honest, and I love it. I won't always agree with everything he says, but that's all right. At the end of the day, I know he respects my opinion and I respect his. Yeah. And if he thinks something sucked, he'll be like, to be honest, that kind of sucked. And I'll sit there and I'll be a little shocked for a second, and then I'll go, I mean, I can
a little shocked for a second, man. You blow up the chat until you come to realization that he's got a point. Yeah, I'll pass you on here. Come on, bro.
Sometimes after a long day, I'm blowing off steam. I get a couple drinks in and start blowing off steam. What do you mean? Boba Fett's awesome.
Don't you dare disrespect the Fett.
Yeah, don't disrespect Papa Fett like that.
Every time he does something that comes off as very disrespectful towards Boba Fett, all I think about is the movie Fanboys.
Yes.
And it's like, you disrespect the Fett again, I'll shove a lightsaber up your cornhole. He's in Darth Vader's face in a Stormtrooper outfit when he's doing it. And I'm like, that is how I feel every time he disrespects the Fett, because Boba Fett has been my favorite forever. But Kyle, like I said, Charlie and I finally got him to realize once you watch all of the show in a collective, it's not as bad. Me, I loved every second of it.
There.
Exactly, and that was kind of the point that I had made as well about the show was, just let it play out. Like, is it perfect? No. Are there things about it that, kind of don't really make a whole lot of sense? Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's Star Wars, and it's new Star Wars that we didn't have before, and
we didn't ask for it. We didn't, though. That's what makes me small.
You we might not have.
No. I didn't mean didn't ask for it as in I didn't want it. Because trust me, anything with Boba Fett, I want it. But we didn't ask for the Mandalorian. We didn't ask for Boba Fett. We didn't ask for Bo-Katan and all these live action characters that were just cartoons and minor appearances in live action. They gifted us this, and people can either be grateful or hate it. That's your life choice. Me personally, I'm going to be grateful. I don't know about Charlie or you guys, but I'm grateful that they're going to continue. Disney could have bought it, did season 7, and did the last 3 movies and said, deuces, we're done. No more Star Wars. We're focusing on Marvel because Marvel's our powerhouse.
And what a powerhouse it is.
Damn straight.
No, it is. Still a DC fan. I'm going to go watch Batman here soon.
Oh.
Honestly, I haven't pre-ordered tickets, but I might show up opening night just because.
I want to see it. I'm very
excited for Batman.
I'm sold on it on the theme alone. The theme for that movie
gives me that Tim Burton vibe.
Chef's kiss.
Hey, that's Charlie's thing.
What can I say?
What's up the elegance behind her? Like your hands just fluently do it. It's me. I look like an idiot. I look like I'm trying not to puke.
I do it like an Italian. I'm like, chef's a kiss. Sorry to any Italians that watch this video.
It's got to be the subtleties. Yeah. It's beautiful.
I'm just not cool, Charlie. That's all it is.
I love. I'm gonna jump on you for 5 minutes, CJ. I love our podcast. It's a pleasure to have it as part of my week, part of twice of my week. it's given me so much to do in the time while I'm figuring out what to do post degree, what to do with myself in terms of employment. Like I'm busy and I'm active and I'm engaged, and I get to spend time with my friends and people that I care about, and I get to talk about one of my favorite things, which is Star Wars. So why would I not want to do that with myself?
Right.
Absolutely. And speaking of Star Wars, I know CJ said he can only stop by for a little bit, so I wanted to hit you guys with a little surprise there, little shocker. So for those of you that don't know, on Lightsaber Radio, there is the infamous Charlie's Impossible
Don't you
Quiz.
dare.
no.
I came prepared. So here's the thing. Every week you stump me and make me wonder whether or not I'm a true Star Wars fan. So I am ready to bring it on. So I now bring up Dylan's somewhat possible quiz. It's not the end of the world. It's not super hard. But there are some questions on there. So all of my questions are based off of let me see real quick. I believe these are all movie questions except for the last one, which is based off of Rebels. But it's only based off It's only based off the first episode of Rebels. So you guys aren't going to get it, though. I'm proud of that one. I had a joke I was going to make.
If I get it, what do I get out of this?
Bragging
rights. You get to say that you beat Charlie in a Star Wars quiz.
Yeah, my questions weren't good on that episode.
All right, so my first question is this: other than Anakin and Sebulba, can you name 3 pod racers from Episode 1?
No, because I've literally written down this as a question. Do I remember any of them? No.
No, I can't think of anybody.
Nope.
I think of the pit droids.
I think of try.
We got no thoughts, helmet empty on this one.
Yeah.
All bucket,
no thought.
If you hit on the bucket, it's gonna go dong.
No.
Anybody in chat got any guesses?
Nick, I think you wrote this question. You answer it.
So I quite literally watched this scene like 4 times, making sure I got all of the names. I did my homework.
I respect it.
I think this was after a week you stumped me really bad, and I was like, bide my time.
Revenge.
No thoughts, buckets empty. Okay, not revenge, just getting even.
That's still revenge.
So
that's revenge.
That's a nice way of getting revenge.
Here are the known pod races. We have Ben Quadraneros, Bull's Roar, Mahonic, Clig Holdfast, Dud Bolt, and Odie Mondrell.
Yeah, I totally knew all of those.
Yeah, yep. I didn't because it's like my least favorite
Star Wars character. All right, this is another episode 1 question. And I wrote these before I knew that you had watched episode 1 on repeat for years, so you got to get this one. What bounty hunter makes a cameo at the Boona Eve Classic in episode 1?
Oh gosh, it's pulled up in Solo and Aura Singh.
Yep, it's Aura Singh.
Yes, of course, because she's shooting with the gun and the hair and the. Literally, I watched Solo like 2 hours ago. Literally,
and the thing is, you're picturing. I could see the gears turning. Like you were picturing. Like I know the face.
Yeah, I know
so
because
we
Lando
got another
Solo to Tobias Beckett. He's like, you shot Aura
Lando
Singh.
talks about how it was Beckett that killed Aura Singh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So next question is I wrote these out like I was some game show host. I was so prepared.
Oh yeah.
Bounty hunter. We don't need their scum. Can you name every bounty hunter that Vader sends after the Millennium Falcon in episode 5?
Yes.
There are
Boba Fett.
There are 6 of them.
Boba Fett, Bosk, Dengar.
IG-11.
All I've got is that 3.
I have the others.
Eli's going to
All right.
explode.
What are they? Eli,
All
name them
right,
off.
So we have Boba Fett, Bosk, Dengar, IG-88, Forlom, and Zuckuss.
Yep.
Forlam and Zuckuss. No.
Bug boy.
Bug
Or
boy.
as the 1313 podcast
Boy.
calls them, Suckus.
So
But yeah,
that's
so
fair.
Boba Fett, Dengar, Bosk, IG-88, Zuckuss, and Forlom.
Hey, I'm proud of myself for getting at least 3. That's
I know, and that's why I had to say all of them, because I knew everybody could get at least 3.
yeah, that's smart.
Zuckuss
That's
and
really
Forlom
smart.
were my aces in the hole. All right, so this one was a little controversial because I found some conflicting answers for this. But in episode 2, what dents Jango Fett's helmet?
A door. Is
Nothing. His helmet doesn't get dented.
I was literally about to say what Eli was going to say. Doesn't he bang it on a door?
So he does bang it getting into the
He
Slave
bangs
1.
it into getting into
He
Slave
does
1.
bang his head getting into the Slave 1, but there is actually evidence that where it was damaged sooner.
Oh.
And it was actually from either a headbutt or kick from Obi-Wan. They was in quick succession, so you couldn't really tell
Oh, of course.
which really
when they
does it.
fight
But there,
outside.
it is noticeably slightly dented. It's not the same spot as Boba's. I was reading the what was it? The dented helmet forums about this, and some dude wrote like a scholarly essay with sources.
Beautiful.
I was impressed. I was like, dude, awesome. But yeah, so the hitting his head on the ship was kind of the like noticeable thing, but there was 2 answers for that one, so I made sure that it was noted.
Oh.
All right, next one. What is the first line spoken in Revenge of the Sith? And I'll give you a hint. Anakin says it.
This is where the fun begins.
No,
Nope.
he says that.
I'm sorry. I know it's not that. That's just one of my favorite lines when he's
Oh
smiling.
no, it's one of the greatest lines in all of Star Wars. But
It's not buzz droids.
No. I can see it in my head, but I can't.
I'm literally watching him say
Yeah.
it, but I can't hear it.
Yeah, I'm watching it on my head cinema, but it's not.
you guys give up.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna pack all this stuff away. I'm done. I quit Lightsaber Radio. Like
It is lock on to him, R2.
lock onto him, R2. Oh
And
my
then
god!
he-
that
and
was,
then
I can
I didn't think that's
see
what I
it.
said.
He said
That was
lock
literally
on
what I was
to
going to
R2.
say, and I was like, no,
And then
that
he
ain't
says-
it.
It's in quick succession, but I said lock on to him, R2 is kind of the first is the first line, and then he pauses and says, "Master, General Grievous's ship is straight ahead, the one crawling with vulture droids." I have that opening pretty much memorized. Sorry, that's not really fair.
No,
All right, next one.
that's impressive.
So
My dude.
another first line. This is calling out Charlie so hard. I must have been really vindictive when I wrote this. What was the first thing Rey says in Basic or English in The Force Awakens? Because her first couple of lines are actually not in Basic.
Talmina Parqua something. I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I'm going in the right
Yeah,
He's
direction.
talking to the
Your
guy on the
first
thing
line,
because he's
that's
got
not
BB-8.
basic. Yes, she is. But what does she say to BB-8 afterwards? Her first line's in Basic.
She says that's Tito.
He's a real jerk.
Yeah, that's Tito. He's
Very, very, very close. Very close. I'll give you that one. You got the first part. So
Charlie's
she says,
got it.
"That's just Tito. Wants you for parts. He has no respect for anyone."
Yeah, I can remember the alien language she says, but not the human language.
The
Way to
fact that you
go.
remembered the alien language gets you the point right there, because that was amazing.
It's partly because it's the first thing she says in the Star Wars movie, and it is the poshest, most English, like fancy ass pronunciation of that language I've ever heard. It's so funny to me the way she rolls her R's into it. Okay, drama school,
Nailed it.
put it down.
Absolutely.
You're in Star Wars, you're not in New York.
My next
This
question.
isn't RADA.
I was going in on these first lines. So who says the first line in A New Hope, and extra points for if you can get what
C3. It's C3PO. It's C3PO. They're walking through the corridor with R2, and he says, "Did you hear that?
Yep.
Did you hear that they've shut down the generators or something?
Yep.
They've shut down the."
I think it's did you hear that? And then they like cut away, and then they cut back to him.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's
because they reference it in Rise of Skywalker as well when all the resistance is coming back.
Sorry,
I couldn't think of it.
I actually had to rephrase that question because when I was writing it, I forgot about the very ending of Rise of Skywalker. So I thought that it was the first and last line in Star Wars, but it isn't. The last line, of course, is Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
Iconic. All right. So what is the first weapon Jango Fett uses against Obi-Wan in their dogfight over Geonosis? What's the first weapon he
the zip, the line, the paracord line that he uses?
No, not when he's fighting him on Camino. When they're over Geonosis.
Geonosis?
In their dogfight.
It's not his blasters.
Nope, it's not the blasters.
No, his flamethrower.
Nope.
No, that's Mace Windu.
What'd you say, Eli?
Think.
Is it rockets?
Nope, it's not rockets.
It's jetpack?
Nope. Dogfight.
Metal. Oh, no clue.
It's actually the seismic charge.
Really?
Oh yeah, because they're going into Geonosis.
The seismic charge, and he deploys 2 of them.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely beautiful. I think I actually have that one. I might have that one.
It's been too long.
It's a beautiful ship.
It's a fire spray gunship.
Star Wars is well known for its colorful insults. Who is affectionately described as a slimy piece of worm-ridden filth?
Can I get a clue as to whether it's a movie or a TV series?
It's in the movies.
In the movies.
Jabba the Hutt. Han Solo says it.
Jabba the Hutt.
Ah.
Yep. And the last one. This one was just me absolutely hyper focusing on Rebels. So, how long does it take in Star Wars Rebels for the Ghost crew to commit an act of terror against the Empire?
It's not even 5 minutes.
All of about 0.5 seconds. Like I don't know, 2 minutes and 48 seconds.
So take your closest guess. I'll take the closest guess.
I think it's like 6:37.
Okay.
2:48. I don't know.
Okay. Eli, what's your guess?
Precisely 7.
7 what? 7 minutes?
7 hours.
7.
7 hours in Star Wars time. 6 minutes in this.
I believe CJ is the closest. It's at exactly 4 minutes and 15 seconds of the very first episode. They blow up a speeder to steal Imperial guns to sell to. I think it's Vizago.
They sell it to Vizago. Vizago's cool.
But yes, I was gonna make a joke about it on LSR, and then after I asked you one, I was like, "Let me not. I'm gonna hold this and use it as a question." Because I was gonna make a joke, not even 5 minutes into the show and they're already blowing stuff up. Then I was like, no, let me wait.
Well, guys, I have to head off.
Okay.
Thank you for stopping by today. A lot of fun having you, man.
I will definitely come back when I can do a full episode. It's family night. I gotta go spend time with the kids.
Would love to have you.
I will come back whenever there's availability.
Absolutely.
I'll hold the fort. Don't worry.
Don't hurt their feelings too hard now.
Absolutely, dude. You are always welcome. You guys are always welcome on the show. We are always happy to have guests because at the end of the day, it builds a community and it makes everybody,
100%.
Get a little bit closer. So, with that being said, have a good night. Have a good night, TJ, man.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Nick says I've done terribly at this talking about the quiz. Dude, that was a tough quiz. I didn't realize how tough I made that. Somewhat possible. I may have overstated that one a little bit. Yeah, so sorry about that.
No worries. I'm impressed. That's
Well, you
think I got like
put so
2
much
right.
effort. You put so much effort into LSR's quiz. I was like, let me give that a try and just kind of. And then afterwards, I was like, the amount of effort and time that you put in is just absolutely amazing to me.
Thank you.
Because it's so cool. And like you pull these questions that like I never would have guessed. Like I think what was it? You asked you stumped me on this one, and you also stumped what is it? Clone Army Radio on this. I was listening to your show with them, and it was like, what is Fives' CT
Five's
number?
full designation, yeah.
Yeah, full designation. I thought it was just 55, CT 55555. No, it's what CT 27555.
27555. Yeah,
blew my mind.
It's crazy.
Then,
the amount of weird. I don't know whether like this like traveled across the pond. There's a show in the UK called QI. It's hosted by Stephen Fry. It's now hosted by a lady called Sandy Tosvig. It's a quiz show, and it's the questions are it's all general knowledge, like huge amounts of general knowledge to bizarre levels of like specificness. And that's kind of where I got the idea from. I wanted these questions to be trick questions, stupid answer questions, ridiculously impossible, like CJ knowing how many times Darth Maul blinks in The Phantom Menace. Who has that information in their head and asks the question and he blinks?
Yeah, he blinks. I think it's 3 times.
3 times. He only blinks when he's being defeated.
Oh,
partly because the contact lenses were so uncomfortable, and mostly, I've forgotten the actor's name. Ray Park. There we go.
Yeah.
Ray Park choosing to do that as a performance. Psychic Red, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Hey, that's my guy.
Absolutely, and then
she's there.
Absolutely.
Oh, there it is.
I'll tell you what I remember when the sequels were first coming out. I wasn't always the biggest fan of Rey and her character, but I had kind of fallen into that like rabbit hole of people that were just like, Rey's terrible, the sequels are bad. Nah. And then honestly,
tell me about it. It plagues me on a daily basis.
Oh, I don't know how you put up with it. I honestly don't.
I am very
absolutely
lucky.
Blows my mind.
Been horrible.
Oh yeah. So for those who don't know, I just recently got back on TikTok and have been sort of like getting back into the Star Wars community on there. Holy moly. Everybody wants their opinion known. Like I made a video sort of making fun of those like reactionary people. And I had some dude come on and comment like 3 non-arguments and then just dip. So I spent like 6 messages like having to explain like, okay, dude, like, no, you're wrong. And here's why. Didn't respond.
That's fair. People don't waste your breath, yeah? Don't waste your breath on the majority of Star Wars fans. It's a wild place to be a part of, it really is. I didn't actually hear about a lot of the Rey discourse and Rey issues until I started cosplaying. And suddenly I was faced with a community who was like, why are you doing this? Why would you pick such a shit character? And if I hear one more person say Rey is a Mary Sue, I'm coming swinging. Like, I don't fight, but
It's so annoying because at the end of the day, like, Rey's a fictional character.
Also, Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star at 19 with no fighting experience or any kind of military training or any kind of precision training. So
he could shoot a womp rat in the sky in his room to blowing up a space station. Nothing.
Yeah. Blasting womp rats in your T-16, eh, Luke?
The fandom menace. Nick's right.
Yes. That is 100%.
Yes, the fandom is in fact a menace. No free clout on this channel. We don't shout out bad take channels. We don't do that. We don't give them the energy, even though we all know one of them or multiple.
It's hard not to say.
We don't want to give them that energy because it's just so exhausting at the end of the day. Like at a certain point, you even ask yourself, do they even like Star Wars?
Yeah, it gets to a point, doesn't it? You even really like Star Wars.
When every single thing they say is so critical and hateful and nasty, it's just like, And Nick, that's a really good point. Nick says it's a shame they do better in the algorithm. Well, they do better in the algorithm because it becomes this echo chamber, and they've created this echo chamber of people that are like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're so right. It's so it's garbage."
Yes, man.
Like, what's craziest to me is that there's a really big creator, and I'm not going to name drop this creator, but we all kind of know who it is. It's a G and G are the initials of the channel, and I won't go any further than that. But when that person first left The Last Jedi, they talked about how wonderful it was and how they loved the movie and how Rian Johnson was so great. And then all of a sudden, when it became profitable to hate on the movie, it's terrible, it's horrible, no good, very bad, I hate it. It's
no good, very bad.
They're killing the fandom. It's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault because she wore a shirt at a Nike event, and we're gonna take this shirt and plaster it everywhere because it says the Force is female. I actually saw somebody wearing a shirt like that at my gym the other day, and I kind of laughed. I was like, oh. And sure enough, it's a Nike shirt. It's not even about Star Wars. It was like a Nike fundraiser that she attended.
That's awkward. Oh,
very awkward. It's almost like if the people in that person's community knew that, they would start to question some of their other crappy takes.
God forbid.
God forbid.
So I want to know what other fandoms you guys are into, because I know this isn't just strictly a Star. Sorry, I'm not like hosting over here. It's hard to turn it off.
Absolutely. No, ask away.
No, I want to. Yeah, what other fandoms are you guys into other than the classic, the iconic Star Wars?
Absolutely. Sure, I'll go first. So I'm a big Marvel and DC guy.
Nice.
Like, if my friends have any questions about like Marvel or DC or Star Wars, like they will come to me and be like, "Hey, short answer, explain this." And I'll be like, "You don't get a short answer. You get an hour lecture. There's no in between." Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I hyperfixate. But Star Wars and DC are my two probably big ones besides Star Wars. And then I'm also a very casual like fan of Pokemon, which I played the games as a kid and just have kind of played them casually over the years. I got into competitive battling over quarantine, and that was a nightmare. That was a lot of fun. There's also some very toxic community in Pokemon as well, believe it or not, which it's a game about pocket monsters and making friends with little creatures, and people are like calling you horrible slurs just because you beat their like this is the worst thing where I literally like beat some like probably 12-year-old who used the same tried and true strategy that I've battled 100 times and literally made a mon to like defeat that one strategy. And they were like, "No, you effing, obscenity." And I was like, "Bro, it's a game." Like I understand being upset that you got outplayed, but come on. Like if I ever had somebody like outplay me or beat me fair and square, I'll be like, "Hey, good game, well played. You beat me fair and square." If I have someone beat me using like some cheesy, like all super buffed up, powerful mons, I'll be like, "Okay, you're cool. You have a lot of friends." But I won't be like, calling them like obscenities and slurs. Like that's too far.
There is a line, surely.
There is a line, and they're just like, boom, cross it. Like it's not 2010's Call of Duty. Like, calm down.
Don't. Flashbacks, please.
Oh, yes. Hard flashbacks.
Eli,
what are your other fandoms that you're into?
Oh, it's me time? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a big time Star Wars fan, judging by the the bucket. It's one of a couple.
Hundreds, thousands, all over the floor.
10 million with another 2 on the
way. I sit here with my Lego Mos Eisley Cantina, proudly displayed upon my shelf.
Good man.
I'm a big Marvel and DC fan. Something not a lot of people know about me is I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan as well. I have my HasLab Proton Pack and Neutrona Wand shipping once they're actually made next year. So we'll see that in 2023.
Nice.
Oh God, I'm teasing cosplays that are a year away. Look at me go.
This dude's got a level of planning. I could never.
I love Tolkien. Anything Tolkien, that's Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies, and hopefully
Now we're talking. Now we're bonding. Now we're.
I'm very excited for Rings of Power. I'm not even scared for Rings of Power. I'm just hoping that we see some beautiful dwarf ladybeards. I'm waiting on that. Give me that lore accuracy, please. I love the Witcher series as well. I made my own Witcher sword. The unfortunate news is it got into the hands of the 7-year-old that I watched, and it now needs some hefty repairs. Let's see. Oh yeah, Callahan's talking about the workshop of stuff that I build.
Nice.
It's not just cosplays. I do some more functional props as well. I haven't done that in a while, as they're a real pain. But it's a lot of fun. Let's see. I like the Harry Potter fandom. Well, I like the Harry Potter books, and the fandom's cool. I have my own gripes with the author, but well, you know. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I would play it more if I had more time on my hands. Mainly regular amounts of time on my hands. Yeah. I'm just looking over here at my bookshelves and seeing. I love the Star Wars tabletop RPG from Fantasy Flight Games. If you've never played it and you like tabletops, it is so good. I want to get a group together. Oh yes, and I'm a big fan of this game called Ultra Kill. If you've never played it, it's the most fun game you have never heard of. If you like Doom, it is good.
Ooh, I do like the music from Doom. Eli, you actually just gave me a great idea for a stream we could do in the future. We'll have to write this down, but it'd be really cool to do like a live Dungeons and Dragons stream, if that's possible.
I have wanted to for so long, Dylan.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons out of
I've
all
never played it either.
And all of the writing I've done, it's never something I've brushed up against. Any kind of tabletop, really.
It would be so fun to get a group of like complete newbies like us.
Don't, because I'm horrible with stuff like that. I need somebody holding my hand and like explaining it to me like second by second. Otherwise, I get very upset.
I'm here. I have 2 hands.
Yes, but then we could clickbait title it.
I can stretch my other Dr. Octopus arms and get 4 more hands to hold hands with. They're not working yet, but we're in the process of building them. I currently have like one section of 13 spine segments.
Oh, that's awesome.
Spines? I make spine sculptures. Let's...
Yeah. Mine is less a sculpture and more so like a hopefully one day functional set of arms that I can control using my own arms.
Oh yeah, Nick, that's a fantastic point. Quick plug for like our friend Omar. He Can't Sleep Must Paint on Instagram. He does these incredibly beautiful paintings of these Star Wars miniatures. He has a Twitch stream. He goes live like really regularly, and he just sits, paints, and chats. And it's super lovely guy. I'm getting him on LSR as soon as possible.
That would be awesome. I'll definitely have to check them out.
Yes, do.
One thing I've learned quickly about Twitch for this channel, just to kind of announce to everybody, apparently my internet is not suited to Twitch stream. So like when I ran into a couple issues when I was doing our episode with 1313, where like it was having a hard time buffering. I was like, oh, maybe it's just because I'm streaming YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So I'll just do one and then maybe do it later. But I went to go do a Twitch stream. I think it was last.
Yeah, you were doing some Lego building, weren't you?
Yeah, I was going to, and then it turned out to be absolutely terrible because I don't have the camera or setup for it. So, and then like every few seconds on Twitch, like I was getting like the screen would freeze. It was just not a very good time, and it wasn't Twitch's fault. It was just my internet was not suited for it. And I was also like in my kitchen trying to build on the table, and it was too bright. You couldn't see anything. So I ended up scrapping that stream. I tried to move it to YouTube before I eventually just gave up and said, "This ain't it, Chief."
That's fair.
I scrapped it, and then I think at the end of it, I don't even think anybody was watching, and I'm so grateful for that because I had a near mental breakdown right at the end where I was just like, nothing is going my way. This is horrible. And I even looked at the camera and said, I'm deleting this video right after I get off.
Yeah,
I've been gone forever. Don't look for it. It's not a sign I want.
I did a live stream to put together Rey's hair in The Rise of Skywalker. It's different to her Jakku buns. It's a whole thing. And I was so confident and I was so ready. And I got about 20 minutes in, burst into tears. Couldn't do it. Couldn't deal with it. It was too stressful. And I looked at the live and went, I'm going, guys, bye. And just ended it. Guys, check the chat.
Oh.
You guys just hit 20 subscribers. Ooh.
Congratulations.
Hold on. Release the
Take it off. Take it off.
Whoa, now it's not that kind of stream. Hold on. No, I would just dump away from release the fork biter cut. Release the fork biter cut. Goodness gracious. I don't have any forks to bite, but I do have some M&Ms right here. So.
God, I'd kill for an M&M. I haven't had one since I went vegan. Ooh.
Oh.
Here, I'll toss one over to you.
This is
do it.
Eli, do it. Do it.
Okay,
do it.
Yeah, we are at 20 subscribers. We'll definitely get back to that. We'll get back to the plot significant face review in a little bit.
Wait a second. Are we really going to deprive them of this? They earned it fair and square.
That's 20 whole people dedicated to your video content on a weekly basis. You've got to reward the commitment, guys.
Don't shame me. Don't shame me into doing this.
You've got to love the subscribers. Treat them with care and respect. You've got to go follow through on the promises.
I think it's
all right. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. All right. Plot significant face reveal. Here we go.
Woo!
All right, everybody, we did it. We did the face reveal. We ripped the Band-Aid off.
We got the Mando out of his helmet.
Got the Mando out of his helmet.
This feels very weird. Very weird.
It
my
is.
God.
Wild.
That's my face. Oh my
yeah.
God. Wow.
Oh my God, I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much for letting me be part of this.
CJ's gonna be pissed.
I know what everybody's thinking. He took the helmet off, and everybody instantly heard the Squidward voice. Oh no, he's hot.
I mean, I know there's at least one person in the chat who thinks that. I don't know about anybody else.
Amazing. So, Nick says you are no longer welcome in the Children of the Watch. That's okay. They're a cult.
They are a cult.
Yeah. Dang. Apparently, a lot of people say you look like their friend and boyfriend Eli. Huh? Interesting.
There is no relation to that Eli. I have never met him before in my life.
Yeah.
Who is this man? I've never met him.
I've never met him. Though I have heard he is incredibly handsome.
Okay, so I think I get the confusion now. So they're talking about Eli when your name is Eli. See, so that's the issue there. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
You sound like every single substitute teacher I ever had in school. Because like my real name, they were never actually able to pronounce. So it was horrifically butchered every time they tried to read it. It was a delight, truly, to just go through that.
Do what I did. Change your name. Change your name, and then you never have to deal with it again. Legally change your name. Reject what your parents gave you. Reject it.
Pro gamer move.
You see, the
That is
problem
a
is, like,
pro gamer move with
I like my name.
Pog based.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I don't know what else.
Oh my god, no, I'm not going to sit here and give you like a whole identity crisis. That's so unfair.
That's for after the stream. That's for after the stream.
Yeah.
Actually,
after the stream, the camera will come off and he'll just go.
Eli will just break down. Gabby, I'm sorry. This is not fair of me.
No, after the stream, I go work on a sword. So
nice.
Yeah, I have a. It's the Sword of Strider from the Lord of the Rings. I've been getting pictures. I was going to do it out of 10mm EVA. Found out I had no 10mm EVA. So instead of doing 2 sheets of 10mm, it's 3 sheets of 6mm, which is great.
Nice. I would do anything for a workspace like that to be able to actually make props.
Oh,
that would be sick.
There's not a workspace. It's the bedroom behind me.
Nice.
Yep. Gabby,
I've literally been spray painting things on my terrace. On my
See, that's smart. We don't spray paint indoors because that's dangerous.
Yeah,
unless it's well ventilated, very well ventilated.
Not well ventilated. Like it's a little tiny terrace. I put some cardboard boxes on the ground and just went.
That was a really good spray.
Trying to finish Boba Fett. Almost done. And the only 2 things I have to wait for now are my gauntlets to arrive in the mail.
It's the last push.
Because I wussed out because gauntlets are hard.
Guys, you can help me decide. I don't know if for Saturday's episode of Lightsaber Radio, I want to wear Jakku Ray, which is, classic, iconic. That's what I'm known for. Mm-hmm. Rise of Skywalker or Dark Ray, because I haven't actually had either of those other 2 on camera. I can't decide.
That is tough.
I got a soft spot in my heart for Dark Ray. It's just
me too.
Are we talking like fangs and everything?
I have the actual a proper set of the Pennywise sharp teeth. They're there, they're ready to purchase. I need I will get them. I would do anything. I did have some contact lenses. I don't know if they're dried out or not. We'll have to see.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta keep those in the solution. Keep them soaking. I wear contacts, so it's a struggle.
Oh God, I'm realizing all the little facial gestures that I make under my helmet are now visible to everybody.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
The amount I wrinkle my forehead and the amount I'm frowning and I catch myself
No, it's not that. It's Dylan. I have a horrific confession to make. Half the time when we're streaming, I'm making faces at your ass. 90% of the time. I'm just
this reminds me so much of Spaceballs. That reminds me so much of Spaceballs. Don't you ever wear that damn thing in front of me. How do I know you're not making faces on me underneath? And it's just
that's what I've been doing. It's 90% of the stream.
I love that movie. Honestly, one of my favorite things about so when I make a lot of TikTok videos and stuff, I've started wearing my helmet just I have a video of me literally in a hoodie, short shorts and my helmet playing
short
my
shorts.
Slave 1 Lego. They're not
what shorts are we talking?
Short shorts. She wears short shorts. I wear sneakers. He's cheer captain.
And
I'm on the bleachers.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. But so it's literally my most popular video on TikTok right now, and I found this trend that was absolutely hilarious of people that were just trauma dumping to this song. It was absolutely hilarious.
A vibe.
It was this never had the birds and the bees talk, but I had this traumatic talk instead from my parents. And I literally was on the phone telling my mom about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make one of these videos." And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I had a really funny talk with my parents, when we were back. My dad, when we were back in high school. When I was back in high school, because I used to have a room full of Legos, and I used to be very ashamed of this fact, and now I'm just open about it. I had the coolest room full of Legos. It was a mess. It was a mess.
Lego shame. I'm struggling to see how these
room full of Legos. Well, my problem was I was also very
at a Lego store. Dylan, what the fuck?
So here's the full context of the story. So I was very immature and very like having a lot of issues with like my dad, where we would just kind of butt heads over anything. It's gotten a lot better since high school and all that, but it used to be like we butt heads over like taking the trash out at the wrong hour, because that's not what he's really mad about, but he's, it's what's going to the spark that triggered the fire that has been burning all day, basically. So my dad one day came to me, and this was one of those days where he looks at me, and I'll never forget this. And I love my dad to death. I'm not trying to say like, oh, my dad's a terrible person. It's not. I love my dad. My dad is absolutely hilarious. But he says to me, he goes, Dylan, he says, you're 18 years old. He says, you can't be having sex with girls and playing with Legos in the same day. Like, that just doesn't work. And that conversation has always stuck with me. So like for years, I would like look at Lego sets with just envy of like, I want you. But then I would just hear those words in the back of my head. So when I finally bought that Lego set, I was just like, oh, I have the greatest idea for a video. So the video was me, and it says like, never had the birds and the bees talk, but I had the you can't have sex with girls and play with Legos talk. And I was flying my little Lego slave one around and I just thought it was hilarious. And apparently over 3,000 people on TikTok have now seen this video, and I'm mortified. Okay. I was like, what? Lego and sex best day ever.
You are not the only person who's had that exact talk with parental figures. So,
and like, it's something that we laugh and joke about nowadays, because like, I'm an adult. I've got my own place. I've got my own money. I can do what I want. So, and I mean, I've got a full-time job. Like I do stuff. Like, I'm not just some guy who sits at home and does nothing all day. But it was so funny to go back and to see just this absolute video blow up. I'm pulling it up right now because so current count on this video is 3,627 people of a 5-second clip. 3,000 people.
Jesus.
462 likes.
Man's blown up. Man's got a whole TikTok career. Stuff the podcast.
Blew my mind. And versus like,
wait, don't leave the podcast. I can't do this myself.
The video literally took like not even 10 minutes to make. And the only reason it took 10 minutes was because every take I was like, I don't like this. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna throw my helmet on. I just went, poop, helmet on, made the video. One take, I was like, that looks goofy. Post. My most popular one. And then there's one of me where I'm just like spinning my lightsaber, like, doing my thing. 22 views. Balance.
Wait a second.
Balance.
I can
balance. Some posts will do really well.
Eli, what have you discovered?
I can make reels without my helmet on.
Yes.
Go!
Oh my god.
You can post a selfie.
I don't know that we're ready for that yet. Hold
okay, sorry.
Baby steps. I've only just taken it off. I have only just renounced the cult that I was a part of.
Okay, so I was up to dinner with some people the other night, and one of the people like took a video of the whole the table where everybody was at, and I did not look good. I had just gotten off of work. My hair was a mess, and I was just like, I don't want to be in video. So I sat there like this, and the whole time I was thinking to myself, man, I wish I had my helmet right now.
Helmet!
Like, quite literally, so much easier to just be like this, because, look, you don't know what face I'm making. I could be smiling. I could be frowning. I could be like, you would never
I could
know.
be making faces at you for half of the podcast.
Yeah.
I could be underneath full boss Nos, just Luisa like this. Love.
Did you know that's Brian Blessed?
What?
Boss Nass is voiced by Brian Blessed.
Who?
Brian Blessed. Gordon's alive. Flash Gordon. Don't know who. See, Eli's with me.
Oh.
Basically, he auditioned, and George went, "Look, King, listen, I love it, but you're too loud. You are so loud. So here is Boss Nass. Here is the biggest, loudest character that we can find for you." And it is
what's
perfection.
funny
You're
about
very loud.
like
Would you
Boss
like to
Nass
be
and the
official?
Gungans
Yeah.
is that people there was always there, you know, people have this like weird take that like Jar Jar was terrible. But like my food go around Jar Jar. Believe it or not. Like it's the funniest thing. Like I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden like something will be going wrong with my car. Or like for example, I had some battery issues last week while I was waiting to get a new battery. I was literally just sitting there and I just started talking to myself. I was like, "Oh, sinking and no power? Why do you start thinking we stay in trouble?" Wow. I just love that. Jar Jar is hilarious. Such a
voice
cool...
impressions.
As a kid, anytime I was like, I wasn't a naughty kid per se, but the times where like I'd forget my manners or was just a bit cheeky or a bit of back chat, my mum would look at me and go, "How wooed!" And that would be it. How wooed! I
love that line. Like
I
say that into my adulthood.
Like, Jar Jar Binks.
I say that into my adulthood where someone says, I'm like, "How wooed!
How wooed!
How wooed!"
Voice impressions are so much fun, but unfortunately, I have often used my powers for evil.
Yeah.
Oh, I love hitting telemarketers with voice impressions.
I'm not meaning that. I'm meaning like Yoda voice coming out when Yoda voice absolutely should not be coming out.
Hey, you know, we have all been there. We have all been there. I mirror people's accents really badly, which is terrible if I'm around somebody with a particularly strong, like I've done it to Kyle quite a few times. I've mimicked like his accent back to him, and I don't mean to. It just, I hear it, I repeat it. I hear it, I repeat it. But I did spend quite a lot of time as a teenager and a young adult going around trying to convince people that I was Scottish, Welsh, Irish, French, German. How long could I keep it going for?
Oh, some of mine have entire personalities. Like there's Matthew O'Flanagan, the Irish potato farmer.
See, that's beautifully stereotyped. Would probably get you punched in Ireland, but that's fine.
I'm well aware it would. That's why I'm staying my ass over here.
Yeah,
they can't get to me here.
Chill.
I remember. So when I was in middle school, I did like drama class, and I absolutely loved it. And we had this one play that we had to do. And there were like 3 characters in the play with accents. I played 2 of them. I had to do so this was Law and Order Fairy Tale Unit, where it was based on like the Law and Order show, but it was all fairy tale characters.
I saw this play done once. Yeah.
It was so much fun. Yes.
Yeah.
So
me, a huge Law and Order fan.
The first character I played was I was Hansel from Hansel and Gretel, yeah. And we were dropping the gumdrops in the forest as we were walking back, and we had to talk to the police. Very scary, yeah. And then the second character I played was I was the third pick, you know, the one who built his house out of bricks. And it was quite tricky trying to mimic Ewan McGregor in a giant auditorium. I had to project my voice.
That's really creepy. That's right. Normally, Americans cannot do any form of like English, British, Scottish. That was very good.
I studied. I literally got that accent by studying Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness.
I mean,
I watched Star Wars anyway, so like
uncle-in-law.
I think when I auditioned for that part, I was like, I just did an Obi-Wan impression, and they were just like, good enough.
That's brilliant. That is exceptional. Getting into plays by doing Obi-Wan's accent, which is just Ewan McGregor doing Alec Guinness. And then you look at the Clone Wars, which is another person doing Ewan McGregor doing Alec Guinness. And the cycle continues.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. Dream get all right. So that actually leads me into a really good question, Charlie. if you could have any guest on your show, who would you have and
Daisy
why?
Ridley.
Okay.
Hands down, without a breath of a doubt, Daisy Ridley. I would do anything to actually sit and have like a peer-to-peer conversation with her, not like a fan interaction over a barrier, but like a peer-to-peer. Where were you going in that audition tape? Where were you when you auditioned for The Force Awakens? And I've seen that audition tape. Where was your head at? Where were you going? That tape takes my breath away every single time.
She's such a talented actress.
She's so talented.
I would love to see more. What movie was she just in recently? I think it was a murder mystery movie.
She's done a couple of those because she was in Murder on the Orient Express as well.
Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express. That's what it was. I'd love to see that movie.
Isn't she in another one?
It's on my list.
She's doing a short animated thing at the moment, like voiceovers. No, she's not. She's doing another film as well. So I mean, she is doing another murder mystery. Yes, you're correct. I've seen like photos from the set. I want to talk to her about Rey and how she feels about Rey and what it was like dealing with that backlash of the community. And I want to tell her how much I love Rey and how much Rey has helped me. And I just want to tell her that she's loved and appreciated, and not every single fan hates her and thinks she's a terrible person.
I hope it's not like a Hayden Christensen or Andrew Garfield situation where they think that like everybody hates them just because of this backlash.
I think that's where she's at, and that I don't want that for.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Like she deleted her social media years ago and has never come back. The same with like Kelly Rose.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. I remember I was on Instagram when she deleted her account when Daisy Ridley did, because I used to like go back and like look at her pictures and be like, wow, this, such an amazing, actress. She's so beautiful, this and that. I was in like early high school. So pretty girl, I was in.
You fancied her. Everybody fancied her. Let's be honest. Like, damn.
Literally, if she's in Star Wars, I fancy her. Guarantee.
100%.
For me, it's not everybody. It's specifically women who could kill me. That's just that's the taste. Fennec and Bo-Katan are currently holding the sim status hard.
As I think Dylan has said multiple times, Fennec Shan could beat me into a pulp and I would say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She could do like the rope dart thing that she did to that one guy at the end of Book of Boba Fett.
She could dismember me and I would say that I am grateful.
Yep.
I would apologize for getting blood on her shoes.
I would apologize.
Honestly. Ming-Na Wen is great, and I am eternally jealous of Kyle for getting the.
Don't get me the fact he told us about that months before the show was due to air. Months, and he would not tell us who it was. He would only tell us that it was someone from Star Wars. They were really, really busy, and he wouldn't say anything. Kyle did a 1-to-1 interview with Ming-Na Wen on Star Wars in 10. You should go and check it out if you haven't. So we're like a whole bacon number 1 degree of separation away from her, and it may. That's Mulan, my dudes. That's Mulan.
I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. Also, she has aged like a fine fucking wine. I can, like, isn't she like 50?
She's 50, 54, I think, I want to say.
How does she look like that at 54? How? I have questions. A lot of them.
No idea.
Really good genetics. Really good genetics and a sensational skincare routine. Now, same with Tamara Morrison. That man was glowing in Boba Fett. Damn, glowing.
Tamara Morrison was so happy in that show, and I just hope he doesn't, take too much of the backlash seriously, because he absolutely just, I mean, the smile on his face in the whole show and the way he carried himself, you could tell he was having such a good time.
I just want to kiss the top of his head and say thank you.
I would like to polish.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you, good sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna start to kind of peter off a little bit before we hang up. I'll ask Eli, who would you put on who would you have on the show if you could pick someone? Tough.
I didn't think I was gonna get asked. Dylan, can you go first?
All right. So if I had to pick, my dream guest would actually be. This is what inspired the question. Was James Arnold Taylor, the guy who voices Obi-Wan.
Doesn't he do a podcast?
He does. I think it's called like Talking with Myself or something like that.
I Conversations.
I'm subscribed to him, and he did a episode of his show which absolutely brought me to tears. Which was he did a reading of, I think it was Romeo and Juliet with the voice actress for Satine, and they did Obi-Wan and Satine doing Romeo and Juliet.
Not allowed.
That would hurt. That would break my heart.
Allowed.
It was painful. I remember finishing off and going, just, dude, why? Why would you do that to me? The face of a man has too many people he wants to have on the show. Absolutely. James Arnold Taylor is definitely a dream, but like shoot for the stars. Like absolutely just aim it as high as I could go.
George Lucas.
George Lucas.
To speak to George and tell him how much I love him and how grateful I am for everything that he's ever contributed to my childhood, my understanding, and my upbringing. Yes.
Give him a little kiss on his forehead.
Yeah, a little kiss just for everybody.
To look to George Lucas and say, "Hey, man, so all that money we gave to you through the merchandising, how big is your like front fence?" Because my parents used to joke, all the Star Wars merchandise we bought. We basically bought George Lucas's like his fence was a joke, and then through the years it slowly became less about the fence and it was more like his front porch, and then like stuff like that as the more through the years.
His porch is now its own separate building.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. We bought.
Okay, I'm ready. I have my answer now.
What you got?
But it's a toss-up.
Okay.
Either Andrew Garfield.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or Alfred Molina.
Ooh, Alfred Molina. I'm sorry. That man has a hold on me.
Alfred Molina, I would give like a little smooch on the forehead.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, I may have to turn off my camera.
This is
potentially the microphone as well.
So the power of Andrew Garfield. I'm not a musical guy at all. I've never been a fan of musicals. They've always just like annoyed me slightly. But I have 2 songs from Tick Tick Boom on my Spotify playlist that I listen to fairly regularly. Because of Andrew Garfield. And all I gotta say is Therapy and 3090. Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. Absolutely nailed it. So thank you to Charlie and as well for CJ for coming out. This was so much fun.
It was a pleasure.
Would love to have you on another episode in the future. And just a heads up to everybody in our chat, Lightsaber Radio is doing a huge cosplay episode this Saturday. And I am so excited. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be debuting my finished Python Boba Fett cosplay. I'm so excited. I've literally been working on it like all afternoon. I have like all I have left to do is the knee pads and to get the gauntlets. And once that is done, just going to be trying it on, making so much TikTok content. I can't wait.
There you go.
Because like I've been struggling and I'm just like, once those gauntlets come in tomorrow by 7 p.m.
The Disney gauntlets.
The Disney gauntlets. I don't care. I cheaped out. Gauntlets are hard. Gauntlets are so hard, especially out of cardboard. Like it just became a nightmare. The amount of pieces I made, like it's sitting in a pile on my floor, and I'm just like, I don't want to throw you out, but you piss me off. So I will one day. I when I have more time and energy, I will definitely make my own. But that's when I make the rearmored one and use EVA foam. You know, I get the actual cosplayer.
There you go.
All right. So thank you to everybody for
cosplay is cosplay. You can use cardboard.
An absolute pleasure to be here.
I know. I give myself way too much crap for no reason.
I know. I'm trying to get you to stop.
It is what it is. All right.
If anybody wants to join LSR on Saturday, please do. We'd love to see you there. Oh, hang on. I'm not ready.
Wait a second. So I have to switch back to the TV speakers.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to join LSR, please send them a message. They're on Instagram, Lightsaber Radio, YouTube. Send them a message. They'd be more than happy to have more people on their show. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun.
More the merrier.
So anyway, thank you all for coming out. Thank you so much for 20 subscribers. That was kind of insane to happen. So thank you so much, and we will see you again under the helmet.